بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم وصلی اللہ علی النبی الکریم رب اشرح لی صدری ویسر لی امری واحلل عقدۃ من لسانی یفقہوا قولی. The theme for the present talk is the science of man. Science of man has different aspects: biological aspect, physiological aspect, psychological aspect, also aspect of history, aspect of society, and other aspects. But the most important aspect of human science is its meaning. What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of man? What is the present and what is the future? What is death and what is life? So purpose of life is more important than other aspects of life. Today I would like to say a few words about this aspect. You know, the source of knowing this aspect is only religion. Philosophy cannot help us. Philosophy gives us only confusion. And science has declared that it is not the domain of science. History also tells us what happened and what is the meaning of history. There is not also the subject of history. So the only source of knowing this aspect of life is religion. Then there are many religions. There are a dozen or major religions. But the only authentic source is Islam, because Islam is a preserved religion. Any other religions, all other religions have no authenticity in this sense. So as Islam is the only preserved religion, Islam is the only source of knowing what is the meaning of life. Now, I would like to say a few words about this subject in the light of Islam, in the light of Quran and Hadith. Quran gives us details of first man, that was Adam. Quran tells us that God Almighty created man. God Almighty created Adam as the first man. First man was a complete man. Islam does not subscribe to the evolution theory. That is simply a guess. According to Islam, the first man was complete man. So, when God created man, that is Adam, at that time there were three more creatures the material world, vast material world, solar system, galaxy, an ocean and mountain, and all those things, that is called nature. So this nature or material world was created before Adam. So God said that all these things will obey man. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَّا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Everything will be under the control of man. Everything will serve the purpose of man. So as far as the material world is concerned, there is no option other than to follow man's that path that was prescribed for them by God. That is to serve man. So this was the position of material world. Then there are two more creatures, living creatures, angels and jinn, J-I-N. These two were living creatures. So God said both these living creatures to do according to the man's wishes. God said that inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. It means that man is in charge of this planet Earth. So man was born as the in charge of this planet Earth. So God said to angels and jinn both, you have to follow man's wishes, because man is in charge of this earth. So angels instantly bowed before Adam as a token of submission. But Iblis, that was head of the jinn community, so Iblis refused to obey this commandment. He said, I am not going to follow man. Why? Because I am superior than Adam. He said that I am superior and man is inferior, so I am not going to obey man. This was the first instance at the time of creation. This was very important. This was a demonstration that man is destined to live between two forces, angel and Satan. Satan is the only another name of Iblis, and Iblis was the head of the jinn community. So jinn are source of all kind of evil, and angels are source of all kind of good. So man is living between these two forces. Philosophers were aware of this fact, but they misinterpreted this. For example, Zoroaster said that the world is a perpetual ground between two forces, that is good and evil. Zoroaster was wrong, but because this battle was not between God and Satan. This battle was between man and Satan. So he confused. It is true that there are two forces, but two forces are not God and Satan, but man and Satan. So he said that the world is a perpetual battleground of good, evil, and bad, of good force and evil force. But it is wrong. God, the correct explanation is that world is a perpetual battleground between man and Satan. Man and Satan. It means that man was destined to live in challenge. What is Satan? Satan means challenge. Every time there is challenge. Challenge from Satan, from jinn, from satanic community. But also there are jinn, also there are malaika or angels. Angels are helpers of man. Helpers of man. So man in this world is not alone. He has a great helper, that is angel. Against Satan, man is not alone. But God has given a great force in the help of man, that is angels. So every time we are between angels and Satan, then you know there are two different faculties in human being. Every man has two faculties, ego and conscience. Ego and conscience. So it means, in other words, there are two different entry points in human personality. One is ego and the other is conscious. Ego is entry point of Satan, and conscious is entry point of angel. So every time, man lives in different situations, different circumstances. So every time there are some challenge, every time there are different kind of sentiments, different kind of thinking. So, for example, if one provokes you and you become angry, so anger is phenomena of ego. What is anger? Anger is phenomena of ego. So when you become angry, you open the door for Satan to enter in your personality. So anger is the entry point of Satan. When you become angry after provocation, Satan will enter in your personality and he will activate you, excite you, so that you may become angry and angry. Then you try to take revenge and all those negative activities. So when there is provocation and you become angry, you have to know that this is the point of I have opened the entry point for Satan. You have to be alert. You have to save yourself. You have to forgive. You have to adopt the forgiveness. You have to tolerate. You have to ignore. You have to be patient. So if you keep patience, if you avoid that provocation, then it means that you are not allowing the Satan to enter in your personality. And instead you are giving angel to come and to activate you in positive term. So this is the test of human being. Every time we are between two different possibility. One may be called negative and the other one positive. So ego is the center of negativity and consciousness is the center of positivity. So this is the test. I will give an example to illustrate this point from the seerah of the Prophet of Islam. You know, the Prophet of Islam was born in Mecca in 570 AD. Then he migrated to Medina in 622. So he lived over there up to 10 years. So what happened? One day he saw that a Muslim, his name was Abu Mas'ud. Abu Mas'ud became angry, his servant, and started beating his servant. The Prophet saw this scene and he said, "Ela Baba Mas'ud, lallahu aqdar alayka minka ala hadal ghulam." O Abu Mas'ud, you know, God is stronger upon you than you upon your servant. So what happened? Abu Mas'ud became alert. He revised his mind, and he said that I was wrong. He said that my servant is right and I was wrong. So here you can see that both the phenomena, before intervention by the Prophet, before intervention, Abu Mas'ud was under the influence of Iblis. He became angry. Anger is a phenomenon of Satan. So before intervention, before advice of the Prophet of Islam, Abu Mas'ud was under the influence of Satan. So, but after the intervention, when he revised his behavior, when he reassessed his mind, then he became aware. And then the entry point of consciousness was open. In the first half of the story, he was under the influence of Iblis, but in the second part of the story, he became under the influence of angel. So this is the test of man in this world. Here is the hell and here is the paradise. One who lives under the influence of Satan, he will go to hell. And one who lives under the influence of angel, he will go to paradise. This is the story of life. This is the meaning of life. This is the purpose of life. So, at the outset, when God created man, He demonstrated this fact. At that time, man was told that you will live under two different forces, angel and Satan. So angels are your friend and Satan is your enemy. You have to fight your enemy and you have to obtain advice and help from angels. So every time we are between these two forces. Every time you are living between two forces. For example, let us the example of tongue. Prophet once, there is a hadith that man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyaqul khairan aw liyasmut. One who believes in God and in the hereafter, he should speak right thing and not wrong things. So right speech is the angelic. Right speech is the phenomenon of angel, and wrong speech is the phenomenon of Iblis. So if you control your tongue, if you control your speech, then you will find the help of angel. You know, every time we are living in some different situations. So this situation inside us, it provokes us every time. So we have to use our tongue in a positive manner and not in a negative manner. You have to love people. We have to avoid people. You have to keep patience. There is a verse in the Quran, وَالْقَاذِبِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. This is the picture of a true believer. This is a picture of a true believer. True believer is one who forgives people. Forgiveness is the quality of a true believer. And negative reaction is the quality of those people who live under the influence of Satan. So life is a very crucial test. We are always under the influence of different things, and here Satan finds entry into our personality. But there are angels who are ready to help us. But we find help from angels only when you keep patience. Alam anna nasr ma'as sabr is a hadith. The Prophet of Islam said, Alam anna nasr ma'as sabr. So patience is the key to success. Patience is the door where angel will come to you. Alam anna nasr ma'as sabr. You have to know that success lies with patience. So if you keep patience at the time of provocation, you will save yourself. You will find the help of angels. And if you become impatient, if you become intolerant, then you will lose the help of angels and you will be victim of Satan. So everyone must know that there are two entry points in our personality. There are two entry points. One is for angels and one is for Satan. So positivity is the entry point of angels and negativity is the entry point of Satan. Satan always in bush, in ambush. Satan is always in ambush. And the negativity is the entry point from where the Satan enters in our personality. And positivity is the entry point for angels. When you give a positive response, then you find angels at your help. And when you give negative response, you will find Satan for your help. This is the life. This is the meaning of life. Without this fact, you cannot explain life. Without knowing this fact, you cannot explain life. You cannot understand the purpose of life. So this story that happened at the beginning of creation is the most important aspect of our life. So according to the Quranic account, man was created and settled on this planet Earth as a test. All those things we are enjoying are simply a test paper. Nothing is reward. Our personality, our life, all those life support system, everything we find on this earth are test papers. These things are not reward. We are not owners of these things. If you have a house, if you have a motor car, if you have some sons and daughters, all those things you have in this world are simply test papers. Nothing is reward. Nothing is fazl or rahma, but test papers. And according to your record in this world, you will be rewarded paradise in the hereafter. It is a very important point to know that nothing is reward. We are not owner of anything. If you purchase a motor car, you are not owner of that car. That is a test paper you found through market. If rain falls from space, there is also a test paper. And if you purchase a motor car from market, there is also a test paper. So everything you have in this world is a test paper. It is not reward, it is not blessing. You are in this planet Earth, you are as a student in an examination hall. So according to your record during this stay on this earth, you will be rewarded paradise in the hereafter, not in this world. So God created us only for test. خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. We were given this world. We were given all those things that are called life support system. So we are given all those things only as a test papers and not as a blessing. So we must be alert every moment. And we are living between two different forces, negative force and positive force. Angels are source of positivity and Satan is source of negativity. This is the most important aspect of our life. All other aspects are only secondary, not the primary. Biological aspect, psychological aspect, physiological aspect, historical aspect, social aspect, all those aspects are only secondary. The most important aspect of life is to know its meaning. We have to know the meaning of life. We have to know about the creation plan of God. For what purpose God created us? What is the creation plan of the Creator? The creation plan of the Creator is that He has settled us in this earth only for test. Present world is a testing ground. Every time we are on the test. A most important aspect of the test is that what is our response in different situations. Every time we face different situations, different circumstances, and we have to give some response, either negative response or positive response. So those people who give positive response, they are blessed people. And those people who give negative response, they are living under the influence of Satan. So this is the most important aspect of life, and we have to know this aspect. People generally have adopted the formula, the well-known formula: eat, drink, and be merry. So their sole concern is only two. They have only two-point formula. Present people have generally a two-point formula: earn money and enjoy. Money and entertainment. That's all. They try to earn money more and more. Then they try to enjoy more and more. So the sole concern is only money and enjoyment, money and entertainment. This is wrong. This is wrong. We were not created for this purpose. We are accountable to God. We are accountable to the Creator. We are not free. We are under the commandment of God. Although He has given us freedom, but this freedom is limited freedom. So this is the greatest mistake, to take life simply as a source of entertainment or enjoyment. Paradise is the place of enjoyment, not this world. This world is place of this. From at this place, we have to follow the commandment of God. And as far as the enjoyment, entertainment is concerned, that will be given in the paradise. This is the most important aspect of life. Money is for our need and not for our money is only for our need. We have some need and we can fulfill all these needs through money. So this is the purpose of money. So money is a helper. Money is a helper. Money is not our goal. Money or worldly things are only our helpers. These things are not our goal. Goal is paradise. Goal is paradise. So we have to take all these things as a need or helper or support. But not as a goal. Our goal is paradise. So God has divided our life into two parts: pre-death period and post-death period. Pre-death period is the test period, and post-death period is the reward period. In pre-death period, we have to save ourselves from satanic influence. Then a very important point which is derived from this story, that what is the satanic, satanic feature? That is complex of superiority. Satan said, I am superior than Adam, so I'm not going to bow Adam. So this is here we can find that what is the satanic trait, satanic quality. That is superiority, sense of superiority. So this Every day we are living between some people. Some are poor, some are rich, some are weak, some are strong, some are white, some are black. So these differences create again that kind of psychology, that one is superior and other one is inferior. Rich are superior, poor are inferior, whites are superior, blacks are inferior, weak, strong people are superior and weak people are inferior. So this kind of situation, we live under this kind of situation. So the same story is repeated every day. The same story that happened at the time of beginning is repeated every day in our life. We have to save ourselves from this satanic sentiment that I am superior and other person is inferior. It is this that creates egoism and arrogance. And arrogance is the greatest evil. It was Satan who said like this. At the time of beginning, angels adopted what was behavior of modesty, and Satan adopted that was behavior of arrogance. So in society, we are living in a society between men and women. So we have to adopt this behavior. We have to adopt the behavior of angels and not behavior of Satan. We have to adopt the behavior of modesty, that is behavior of angels, and not the behavior of arrogance, that is behavior of Satan. So this is the lesson from the life story, from the story of life that happened in the beginning. What happened at the beginning was a permanent lesson. It has a permanent lesson. It was not simply an episode of beginning. No, it has a permanent lesson, that we have to live in society according to the behavior of angels and not according to the behavior of Satan. In nutshell, I can say that there are two kinds of behavior: modesty and arrogance. Modesty and arrogance. This is the nutshell. This is the crux of all things. We have to live in this world with the behavior of modesty. And we have to save ourselves from arrogance. That is satanic call, the satanic behavior. Difference is a part of life. In life, there is no uniformity. The differences, poverty, and some are poor and some are rich, some are white, some are blacks. So Prophet of Islam declared at the time of Hajjatul Wada that La fadla li Arabiyin ala Ajabiyin, ala Ajabiyin wala li Ajabiyin ala Arabiyin, wala li Aswada ala Ahmara, wala li Ahmara ala Aswada. It means that all are equal. No one is superior, no one is inferior. Although in appearance there are differences. In appearance there are differences. Some is black, some is white, some is black and some is white. Some are poor, some are rich. But these differences are simply these differences are not due to superiority and inferiority. No. La fadla li Arabiyin ala Ajabiyin. No one is superior and no one is inferior. All are equal. All are equal. So we have to save ourselves from satanic behavior, and we have to adopt the behavior of angels. This is our test. So those who stood in this test, they will find the entry into paradise. And those who fail in this test, they will go to hell. Death is not end of life. The most important aspect is that death is not the end of life. Death is only a new beginning. So the real formula is life after life. Life after life. So death is beginning of new life. That is hereafter, world hereafter. It is a grave misunderstanding to think that death is the end of life. Then, when we die, we enter in the world hereafter. Then there is no return. Death means there is no point of that we reach point of no return. No one, it's not possible to return again in this world. It's very important to know this fact that we cannot return here again. After death, there is no return to this world. So this is the true science of life. True meaning of life. By keeping this creation plan, you can lead a purposeful life. You can lead a real life. This is the reality of life. You have to know this reality of life. It's important for every man, for every woman, for every person. Prophet of Islam has said he gave us 2-point formula for a successful life. That is, اتق الله حيثما كنت وخالق الناس بخلق حسن. This 2-point formula of successful life. He said that you have to fear God It means that you have to make God your sole concern. You have to make God your sole concern. You have to adopt God-oriented life. Then you have to live among people with good character. وَخَالِقِ النَّاسَ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ. You have to live with good character among people. So this is the 2-point formula of success. Making God your sole concern and living among people with good character. This is the true purpose of life. All other formula are wrong, are irrelevant to the creation plan of God. The true formula of life is one. The true formula of life is one that is just according to the creation plan of God. So, creation plan of God is the criterion. The only criterion we have in this regard is the creation plan of God. Without following this basic principle, we will go astray. After the beginning of life, God sent many prophets as guide. Adam was first man. At the same time, Adam was the first prophet. So Adam told his children what was the creation plan of God. Then there were thousands and thousands of prophets in every generation, at every place. Then the last prophet was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So all these prophets gave the same guidance to mankind. There is no difference at all between different prophets. In number, they are more than 100,000, but all the prophets gave the same message, same guidance. The only difference is that Islam is a preserved religion. There is no superior religion, no inferior religion. Such kind of notion is wrong. So Islam is not a superior religion. It is wrong to say that Islam is a superior religion. No. Islam is the preserved religion. Otherwise, all the religions were equal. All the religions were initially equal. No difference at all between this religion and that religion. The only difference is that Islam is the preserved religion. It is preserved in its original form. The scriptures of Islam, Quran is the greatest source of Islamic teachings, and Quran is preserved. Its language is preserved. Its history is preserved. Everything is preserved. So this is the only This is the only distinction, if you can call it distinction. So this is the only distinction of Islam, that Islam is a preserved religion. Otherwise, there is no difference. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. Anyone who wants to live according to the creation plan of God, anyone who wants to face the day of judgment with proper manner, he must understand this fact. So, in short, I can say that there are different aspects of the science of man. For example, biology, physiology, psychology, history, social sciences. All these sciences are part of life. But the most important part of life is its meaning, to know the meaning of life. And you cannot understand the meaning of life without knowing what is the creation plan of the Creator. Without knowing Creator's mind, we cannot understand the meaning of the life. So we have to know the meaning of life, the creation plan of God, so that we may get success in this world as well as in the world hereafter. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم أجمعين.